Stick figures are
Good
coming.
evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's People to People. Rodney Grimes and my co-host, Miss Kimmie Kimm.
Good evening.
Hey, I'm excited. I'm so excited again. Here we are to bring some information to you, introduce people to you. We're trying to network. We're trying to make things happen. So it's all about that. Kimmie Kimm, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm okay.
Well, thank you for having me.
Hey, well, we gonna get into Kimmie Kimm a little later, but I got a gentleman sitting in here that we call him. We got him in the hot seat. His name is Mr. Clark, Andrew Clark. How you doing, sir?
Did you get that off the teleprompter? Come on, babe, it's me. You say it like, I'm not sensing the love here, so let's
No.
cut the commercial. Let's do that again.
Okay.
Ready?
Hey, look, everybody, I got Mr. Andrew Clark in here. This gentleman is an amazing gentleman, and I am so excited to have you here, sitting here at this table.
First of all, thank you. This is a treat. As looking at what we're doing in Tyson's, I mean, you guys are at the forefront of it. I mean, how do I say, things they thought of, but you guys are inventing it, creating it, and making it happen. So to be live here with you guys, thank you.
Well, we sure appreciate it. That was part of what we've been trying to tell people when we had the opportunity to come to this location, that we wanted to become a part of the networking system here. And as we have been seeing, y'all have a very, very strong networking relationship with different people. And so is that something that you do on a regular? Is that your main focus?
Besides singing?
All
right, I'm going there.
Don't you sing.
Well, first of all, I wear many hats. One is a single full-time dad, which is the most precious. Second in the career, financial services, 36 years. But really, it's a treat to wear the hat as chairman of the Tyson's Chamber. And really, that's how we met,
Right.
in the sense of when we had our summer soiree, last week, you were front and center. And you got to love the people that just leap out in front of the crowd and saying, hey, what can we do?
Yeah.
And so from that, the introductions, but you really did mine the event. You went around discovering people. So when people are talking about networking, it's really a trite phrase.
Right.
Because you got to care.
Mm-hmm.
You do it in the sense of mining and all that. Because people, oh my God, I was about to swear again. This is going to be pressure. People get when you're not real. Okay? And from the moment I met you to meeting your wife, your team, dude, that's everything. I mean, you can build mountains with that. And people skip that step. They go in a room. Hi, what do you do? I'm like, first of all, I don't care. Would you leave? I mean, you think about it. You scroll in your head. You're like, just don't say it. Unfortunately, I say it. Then I start singing.
Oh my goodness.
No, but seriously, it's you and the genuine team. Okay? When it came to today, what are we going to do? And you're like, what should we create? And what a beautiful question. Because I don't really like to being told what to do.
Right.
I like the invitation. And like what you did, create the space for that.
Yes.
Because you can see somebody, well, I'm going to ask the question, but let me tell you where we're going. I'm like,
Right, exactly.
right. So with that, I just, the sense of the fluid dialogue, but truly in the sense of what we're creating in Tyson's, but really what we're creating everywhere,
Right.
is this. So thank you.
Well, we sure appreciate you taking the time out. I know it's a holiday for many people. A lot of people out there probably wanting to have a little cookout or whatever, or they
Yeah.
had to cook out yesterday
Yeah.
and trying to rest up because they had to go to
Right.
work tomorrow.
Exactly.
And but we really appreciate you taking the time to come down and sit down with us. We're just interested in learning so much, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to evolve, and so whatever is necessary for us to do, we right there to make it happen.
Well, I guess that's a great way to think about it, because literally when I took over the chairmanship last July, everything was evolving. We're in the throes of COVID. Everybody's looking sideways trying to, who has a solution. And really, there wasn't one. It was a conversation about what could be, then what should be. Then it gets down to execution. I mean, right out of the gates, it was like, we need to go live. We're like, people, it's COVID. Literally, there's every way you can do things safely, methodically. So we had 15 people for an event. Prior to that, we're like, no. That's a statement.
Right.
Here we are at the Tower Club, which is an institution here in Tysons. But we did a safety documentary. Walking the door, the elevator, and then you get to the Tower Club. This thick. Protocols and procedures. We get there, single servings, and you meet lifetime friends because at the end of the day, people are out yearning to be connected.
Right.
Exactly.
And so again, we hang our hat in the Tysons with connections that matter. And you got to put meat behind that statement because everyone's like, no, if it doesn't matter, it's a pass. As a matter of fact, it's a hard pass. Because you look at anybody, especially in the room, your team, it's your time. Here we are on Labor Day.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But it's you.
Yeah.
It's you.
Right.
Okay? And those are people I'm going to invest in. Because you invested in me right off the bat.
Yes.
I'm off the elevator. You're welcoming. You're showing me your team. You're showing me your system. And I'm like, God, yeah. It's the people that show up before you need them. Because everybody's an afterthought. Hey, no, you had 12 times to meet me and say an invitation. Right. It's when you didn't need me, you showed up who you are.
Right.
And again, that's why on a holiday, I'm now available for Christmas.
And I love your energy. You're so welcoming. A lot of people would say, oh my God, who is this? He's running this. He's going to be a stick in the mud. But you were not at all.
Well, I'm going to go back to you all. Life is created in a space. Okay, when you get the space to be yourself, my God, that's where the energy comes from.
Yes.
So many people, they're looking at you and like, you know what? Pass. You've already, I see it in your eyes.
Right,
it's just not there. So when you get to be yourself and then all of a sudden it becomes contagious,
Yes.
my God, that is where life is. That's where you go into networking. That gets from the genuine to the moment of let's do something together.
Yes.
Right.
But that comes from confidence, from clarity. I don't know. I love studying that. It was Gary Clark was one of the first guys in Tysons last year met with, and Gary just got an award, but as he should. But he is himself the most genuine gentleman. And you're like, God damn, I want to be that guy.
Right.
And so I just keep going to the guy I want to emulate, because at the end of the day, I want to pass that to my son.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the gift of people are like, how can I make a difference in the community? How about pay attention?
Exactly.
Oh man, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, life isn't that hard. Just people make it. Be your word, don't lie, and show up on time. I think we covered that earlier.
Right.
Don't be on the bridge. We'll find you. Yeah,
You can stay there.
you can stay on the bridge.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
But I love what you just said when you said if you're going to be involved in the community, you got to pay attention. You got to be aware of what's going on and become a part of it.
Yeah, a lot of people come with their agenda, which I don't have a problem with that. But you got to marry it to the community.
That's right.
Right.
Because if your agenda doesn't fit the overall path, you're like, oh, we put a highway in the middle of the Denny's. What? You didn't read the sign? Come on, people. So that's the whole thing. And I look at, the listening piece. There are a lot of people who were there before you that have tremendous, like the gentleman with Tyson's magazine.
Right.
It's fascinating. I'm sitting there talking in the other room.
Yes.
And the richness and the evolution of different facets of Tyson's. Because really, there's a lot to learn from that to figure out how to go forward.
Right.
Yeah. Just sitting down, and actually I had the opportunity to be in an event with you last week. It was
Our summer soiree.
Yeah, and I was standing up there just sitting there as you were giving out the awards and everything, and I was like, man, this is what I'm talking about. People moving with a purpose,
That's extraordinary because, like last year, Food for Others, Northern Virginia Food Bank. God, when I found out 2 years ago, they served 72,000 meals to kids on the weekends because these kids aren't eating, only at school. So, last year I had scheduled the world record for swing dancing.
Wow.
Cool, right? Because we could raise $250,000 to go to Food for Others, to pay for the kids. And that's why it was heartbreaking when COVID took over.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, it's an audible, it's a pause, but I've been over there. Some of the older people couldn't drive cars. They were more I'm about to swear again. Got to cut me off. Hit that button, baby. Just telling you, I'm that button ready. I don't have much of a governor. But literally driving a car, dropping off food, bagging. And here I am bagging groceries and all, putting up. I swear to God, there's 5 teachers next to me who are writing different lessons plans, who are learning different systems. Right, wow. That's the humbling moment.
Yeah.
And then you go back the next day, and it's 5 different teachers. And you're like, God, okay. So, but every one of those bags had Wegmans on it. Their gift, and like, oh, we have flowers. Their continual give. So I called up Wegmans last year. I'm like, could you present the award to Food for Others? I mean, I would, as Tyson's, yes, I want to honor them. But I want to honor you by really what you do.
Right.
So it was a year later, we honored Wegmans this year.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Big
beautiful.
promo next year on the commercial.
That is beautiful.
Well, it is, because literally I had dinner with the gentleman who was building Wegmans, I don't know, a year and a half ago. It's not once, it's everywhere. You know, their mindset of Wegmans and what they give, because you look at, there's a lot left over. And they just make it a policy, not an afterthought. This is what we do, and this is how we do it.
Right.
So when you make the community easier to help others, because I have to get it, you know, you want to have a corporate rate of return. Wegmans, like, we like to keep quiet. Okay, it's a very class way to do it, and I'm not very quiet, so I will change the rules on that. But again, just looking for the people that are on the sidelines is putting that light on them.
That's right.
Classic, right here, attorney in the building next door, Dan Ruttenberg. 13 years, Cards for Kids, helping moms, you know, with pain. And he does it out of his house, and he's been doing it unsung. He got last year's Unsung Hero Award.
Wow.
Okay.
Right, you know, $1 million raised over the years, and he does it on the quarter, his big events on the 25th, right at Seasons 52. And he looked, he goes, you know, nobody ever thought to say thank you to me.
Wow.
And I was like, hold on. I'm like, but they don't do it for the thank you. But I have to tell you, as anything I've done through Tyson's, you appreciate hearing it.
That's right.
So everything,
That's
the
right.
success of everything that happened in Tyson's is all the invisible people next to me. You know, it was recruiting friends to be on the board because, you know, there's the head of, you know, GSA's Center for Excellence. There's somebody at hedge fund. Because you see what Tyson's was going to need change. And when I got to go to the head, Bill Hicks, head of Fairfax and zoning and all, I needed the guy who knows what Bill's talking about.
Right.
So from that, when we need variances and we can put velocity in, is somebody on the same plane. I mean, it's, okay, how can we help that studio open up because they got to contract, they got to expand, that restaurant's got to move outside. How do we make it happen? Because there is no time anymore.
Right.
I mean, it's so fluid where next week the Delta could shut us down on this way.
That's right.
That's a different permit.
Right.
I mean, that's a lifetime for somebody praying in a corner to figure if they hit the right button for that to go through Fairfax. And Fairfax have been rock stars. I have to tell you, when you get to know, celebrate Fairfax, visit Fairfax, Bill Hicks, they're all in.
Wow.
Yeah, really, wow. I mean, it's like, you know, we did really probably the largest car shows ever in the area. That was because of Tyson's one on their property. That was because of our district supervisor, Palchek, clearing the permits, and everybody below her. And that's what I love when the sense of people like, you're like, oh, I wish they helped us. We're really blessed in this area.
Right.
And
So let me ask you.
Yeah.
So do you kind of orchestrate most of those events, or do they bring them to you?
now, like all these, we had our own ideas. Like we did at First Restaurant Week last October. It was needed.
Okay.
I mean, these people are on the verge of collapse.
Okay.
But again, having a rock star, Dane Scott,
Right.
general manager of Seasons 52, I got this. And when somebody says, when Dane says it, that's like the visible people next to him. When the word got it, isn't a cavalier phrase.
Okay.
You know, I've been in enough things where people with red nose use that phrase, and you're like, I thought you said you had it.
Right.
You know, done is done.
Right.
And another thing, like, pass on to my son is be your word. If
That's
you're going to
right.
say it, you own it.
That's
Yes.
right.
It's like the Ritz-Carlton. I mean, their philosophy is, if somebody, a guest tells you that's the problem, they own it now. It doesn't get passed down the chain.
Mm-hmm.
Just that philosophy of, yep, how can I help?
Right, because you can talk
You
a
can
good
talk.
game, but actually moving on what you say, moving on your word. I mean, even if it's something that you can't quite accomplish by yourself, if you put the effort into starting to do what you said, if you can't do the rest of it, ask somebody for help.
Yeah, and with that, tell me. I mean, if you hit a hiccup on landline and
Exactly.
everything else, it's a team, it's a group, it's
That's
a community.
Yes.
And literally, when we had sort of the powwow before launch last year, we took over the chairman, it's the word community. I mean, that's really why I'm here in Intelligent Office. You know, you marry the same vision.
Right.
Because, you know, Brandon and the crew, it's like, I don't need an office. I can get that anywhere.
Right.
I need to be a part of something.
That's
Yes.
right.
I need to be at the crossroads of where
Yes.
things will happen
Yes.
so we can facilitate or be a part of somebody else's success.
Right.
Yes.
So, and Brandon was just like, yeah, I've been tracking you for a year. I'm like,
Wow.
creepy. Yeah, but at the end of the day, again, the gentleman's amazing, you know, and, you know, mining the richness of everybody's experience. And that's really it. It's going back to how we started, was listening.
Yeah.
You know, each day is sort of an audible. It's like you have a great idea, like the car show. Okay, we went to the head of Tyson's One. Yeah, we can do that, but here are the parameters. Okay, excellent. And then we went to the government. Can you help us?
Yeah.
Okay, now we can get into execution. So when you say in the sense of what I do, have beautiful community people next to me in the sense of how do we do it together?
Yeah.
Like we started out of the gate. I mean, in the sense of resources were limited. And, you know, ATA of the Childers Agency. Yeah, I can help. Pro bono. I mean, this is when you guys
Yeah.
know naturally in the sense of all the marketing. Okay. And then Reggie Holmes of Enthused Creative. This gentleman goes, yeah, I'll design it. So it really was the wow
Yeah.
moment because none of this existed without the, you know, excellence is a poor choice because it was the give along with it.
Yeah.
So it was fun this year when we got, you know, the loans to be, guys, can you rebrand us? Guys, can you do our website? Because we're in a place to bring it full circle.
Right.
I love that you, I mean, we were, you know, had all these questions for you and everything, but I love the fact that you put other people out. You're saying this person helped with this and this person helped with that, and you're just giving people the credit that not that they're asking for,
it,
but
right.
that you really see them. You see their effort, you see their hearts, you know. It means a lot. I mean, I got chills because I
me
know
too.
for a
Just
fact
listening to
that it
myself.
means a lot. It really does. It means a lot to hear your name, to hear that somebody is watching, somebody saw you, somebody's listening. And even though you're not doing it for the recognition itself, it's nice. It's like a mother. It's like a mother. My husband doesn't have to tell me I'm doing a good job with my kids, but when he does, he's going to have an extra special night. Because, you know what I mean? Because
No,
he
of
knows
course what it is.
He said something that he didn't have to say because that's my job. I do it because I love my kids. But the fact that he said that made me feel like, you know, I do make a difference. You know what I mean? And that, I like that about you. Just since you walked in the door, even before we started recording, you really put other people out there. You really did. And who knows what they'll do for their business.
Yeah.
Or for their marriage. I heard my husband's name. Oh my God, you're so wonderful. I mean, you know what I mean? You probably saved the marriage.
Among other things, but yes.
No, but if I want to
Please.
say that too, also because that's what I saw at the event while I was watching you up there when you were talking. It wasn't about the event itself. It was about all the people. It was about everything that was going on. And you was giving awards, but you were thanking them, and you were being real adamant to let them know that you were sincere about it. I sat back and my wife and I was watching you, and I want to say a shout out to Miss Vicky.
Oh my God, Vicky Walker.
She is amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I look at the invisible, exquisite, rock stars. I mean, you have to understand, this lady has done Super Bowl commercials. I mean, in this, you know, and the other thing is she beautifully slaps my hand, like, stop. But all the teams with that is, the respect for each other, the richness of talent, and you subside all the egos.
Yeah.
Wow, game on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, go back to Vicky. I mean, in the sense of the launch is because of her. We are launching our brand, our logo. I can tell you exactly how much effort I put into that. I mean, literally, can you imagine turning over, the sort of the future of everything, how you're presenting yourself, the mission, because you can.
Right.
I mean, this is, I've got enough things, being a full-time dad, running a company, orchestrating the chamber, and then having Vicky. I mean, like Dane with Restaurant Week. When you have that, wow.
Yeah.
So again, this goes back to, not only appreciating, but the blessings.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Because
indeed.
it's so rich when you take a pause,
Yeah.
and that's sort of what I did this weekend. And matter of fact, that's what I loved about COVID. Slowing down.
Yes.
Culling down, I don't need 5,000 friends. I need 4.
Right.
I mean,
Come
and
on. Yeah.
Yes.
right. It's like, the fallacy, no. Okay, who has the shovel and who has the lie?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because you learn who you're around. I mean, I thought I knew my husband until COVID, and I was like, is that who you are? You know what I mean? And not in a bad way, but I learned about my community and out on the outside of my house, how people stuck together. I learned about people at work, how they stuck together, how we checked on each other.
Yeah.
And just about my inside circle. I mean, my 2 daughters, they're married and they live in the neighborhoods around me, and we had one that was at home, and even though it was her last year of high school, it was like the most amazing time to be in a house with a 17-year-old at the time. And I'm
Nice.
like, people, they're like, talk to me. I wanted my daughter to stop talking to me. She was telling me so much, you know what I mean? But it was about community within our household. And it made me wonder, you know what, I can't wait to get outside and do something for somebody. So we started making masks, and we started dropping them off at people's houses and stuff. And to me, that showed her and me what community was. And that's what I feel when you're talking about everybody in your circle and all the people that help you and all the moving parts. And I think that's beautiful because it's about community at the end of the day.
Well, first of all, thank you. And it's like singing to the choir. Because everything you said is all of a sudden instinctively, let's go. Okay, they need us, let's do mass. Have you done it before? No, but okay, it's fabric, it's a thing, let's go. But that's where, you look at where your kids are going to go into the future. In the moment that they got to spend the time and the energy and that, it's just like, wow. I mean, that's forever.
Yeah.
But again, I'm looking at more things are forever. It's, watching my son play the drums, but listening to how he talks about it. Before it was
Right.
just,
Yes.
and then he's like, did you hear the light hi-hat on that one's open hi-hat? And I'm like, I can't hear anything,
Right.
but the exquisite nature of the way he's enrolled in this. I mean, his jazz drummer, another Kelton Norris, so he's one of the who's who of jazz drummers. And my son is a student. So where that's going is, so DC Jazz Fest was yesterday, and we looked, we couldn't get tickets. I'm like, I'm going to chill. No, he bikes 13 miles to it to stand on a fountain to listen to the jazz.
That is commitment.
Man.
Right.
Yes.
That's passion,
Yes.
commitment.
Yes.
That is a love for what he does.
Well, that love was instilled with Kelton.
Yes.
I mean, I look at part of my life is smart enough not to get in the way. Because, Kelton's talking during a drum lesson. I'm like, all right, breathe. And Kelton's an artist. Okay, on many different levels. And so years of being smart and let Kelton meld what he can and instilling the magic, the product.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so part of me, it's that learning of just get out of the way.
Right.
Yes. Let it do what
Oh my God, it's like this tug of war with the ego and the parent and all
Yeah.
this.
Oh my God, do I know what that's like?
Yeah, and it's just like breathe. And it's going back to what you said in the moment. I got to slow. And what is the day? What is going to happen today that matters?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before it was how fastly could I do nothing,
Right.
and now how slowly can I do it right?
Love it. Let me take a moment for everyone who just tuned in. This is People to People with Rodney Grimes and my co-host, Miss Kimmie Kimm, and our special guest, Mr. Andrew Clark. This gentleman is amazing.
Yes, he
and
is.
we have been sitting here, and Kimmie Kimm says she just been trying not to get her makeup messed up from over
Not
here.
makeup, my lashes.
Her lashes.
Ready? It's more like a seizure.
But he's a gentleman that make things happen in Tyson Corner. He connects people, and he's an amazing gentleman. And I have had the honor to be in his presence on several times prior to this. And I'm excited to really know you. And I want to learn from you. And I think that what you do is amazing.
Well, back at you. I mean, literally everything in the sense of learning is the conversation. And it starts with respect. It starts with, the nuance of a smile. And it's amazing. I think, from, just sitting back and hearing you engaged, I mean, talking about energy and what you bring to the table. I love that.
Yay.
Well, it's where the synergy is, it just feeds upon itself. But so that's why truly thank you for today. It's one of those things you walk away going, yes.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, next Thursday work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're going to be selling commercials next week. So
That's
get
right.
on
No,
board.
that's right. That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Either you're paying or I'm singing.
I would pay to see that.
That's it.
And that was something too. And when you talk about this, and we're talking about dedication and things like that, when I had asked you about coming on the program, and you said, well, it's a holiday, that Monday. And I said, and you said, okay, and you was like, I'll be here.
Oh, yeah.
And but I was excited. And then talking to the team and everybody was like, I said, I got an amazing gentleman coming in, and this is going to be amazing. So again, that's you just putting that work in and showing that and I'm trying to do that. That's what we're doing collectively for the whole program, to let people know that this is serious, and this is about networking, and what you said, paying attention.
Yeah, I guess that's the collective energy, because nature abhors a void. And so if you're not doing something, you're doing something. So where are you going to put the tenant, and who are you going to bring together? I mean, in Tyson's, it's strange, like opportunities. Capital One Hall, unbelievable. If you haven't got a chance to go over there and coordinate, anybody call the show, we'll coordinate times with Dolly, who's an amazing lady, is the nuggets here. But they're everywhere, but I get to celebrate Tyson's. But I talked to Dolly, it's like, hey, I've got some special guys here in Tyson, like Suleiman of Shotted Coffee.
Wow.
And it's like, I'm like calling Suleiman, could you show up at 6:30 at your thing inside the mall, make coffee so I can get it over to Capital One by 7? Yes.
Yes.
Right, because it's his passion, his life, and he knows that, at that moment, even though it's outside the boundaries of, like today, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because what matters what matters in that moment of that's the day for the opportunity.
That's right.
Exactly.
So today and the opportunity to be on your show, hell yeah.
Yeah, and to have you on was a hell yeah for me too.
Cool.
So we were just so excited, and and I'm just really just sometimes you can say the little things that make a difference, and for me, that's what I've been trying to do, is pay attention to what's going on around in the community, how people are networking, what are we doing to empower each other, how are we getting to a point where we recognize the people who are doing these small things. A young lady, and I'm going to throw this out because of something you said. If I'm my wife, can I ask you a question, Tanya? What's you do for the food bank, Tanya? What's Tanya's last name? I just put my. I hope Tanya, if you watching,
Click.
Yeah, it's just like, oh no, you ain't all this time.
That commercial just ended.
But
We're looking for new sponsors now.
hey Tanya, I mean disrespect, but I just wanted to
A little late.
But she does stuff for the community and stuff. So it's all about Whittick. Okay, Tanya Whittick. Okay, hey, I messed that up, and we backed it up.
Take 3.
But hey, Tanya, much love.
Oh,
for
no.
what you're doing. I stuck my foot into that one.
Oh no, you're all in.
He's not making it.
No. This family hour now. You're in.
Hey,
Gave me a microphone.
She is doing some amazing things, so.
yeah, but that's what
With food.
And actually, she's doing her son's wedding today.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. But that's what we have to do is pay attention in the community. We have to be able to network. We have to make a big difference and help businesses to survive. And watching again when you was out there giving out the awards and things like that, I saw different times you was like, no, you come up and give the award. You had the people interact so that they was a part of that event as well.
There's just too much talent in this area, and the unfortunate part of the evening is not being able to celebrate enough.
Right.
Literally, Leadership Fairfax. I mean, there's just so many different facets of the community, and just be able to, them volunteering, them engaging with us.
Yeah.
That's where the honor comes from. You just create the platform for success.
Yes.
It's like I look at every business we've launched, we grow. Are you creating somebody where people want to be?
Right.
Okay,
right.
that's be to buy, be to work, be to
Yeah.
contribute.
Yes.
Because, a lot of people living into their vision, but you have to enroll others. Don't get ahead of that part.
Right.
Right. I like that. And I felt, and also me and my wife wanted to personally say thank you too for inviting us.
Ugh.
That was a last minute thing that you stepped in as, come on down, come down as my guest. So I
Please.
just want
Yeah.
to tell you thank you. Then we get there, I mean, you had your hands full, but yet you took the time out to literally introduce me to people, and I thought that was amazing.
That is cool.
Oh man, I'm trying to tell you.
I like you.
I like me. I like you. Damn it. Let's high five. Okay, group hug.
Now I can say that. Oh, can I name drop now? Now I can say.
As long as my name is there.
Yeah, see, I know. Mr. Clark, Andrew Clark. I know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on first name, but he calls me Kimmie. I call him.
Oh my God, I can call you Kimmie.
Call him AC.
Woo! Love that. Oh my God, Kimmie in the house.
Yeah.
Damn. AC is cool, but it's so not Kimmie.
Oh my God! But that. I tell you, that was an experience. I actually.
Oh, phones are lighting up.
You know what I did? And I got to do that too. And let me put that telephone number. But these are all the cards that I had picked up from the event, and they were very, very polite and generous in sharing their information. And that, as you were introducing me to some people, it was like, oh, this is Rodney. He introduced me and just leave me right there. He said, okay, I'll throw you in the water, swim. But he made sure that I had a life jacket.
Yeah.
Because he was really, really adamant
That's
about
cool.
taking me to different people. And then that's why Miss Vicky, I'm trying to tell you, fell in love with her. She is an amazing
Got
woman.
competition there.
Yeah, she is something.
Yeah.
And she was just so adamant about she didn't leave me standing too long, and then she'd be like, oh, hey, Rodney, come on, let me introduce you to this gentleman. And then, we would chat from the different businesses. It was amazing. So, again, I just want to tell you that me and my wife, we appreciated it so much.
Well, thank you. And, when we had the party, it's all these things, it's a celebration, but really, when you look at why you aggregate people, was from a community success position. I mean, I get a lot of, people calling me, hey, I'd like to join the chamber. Well, let's have lunch. Let's see it's a fit.
Right.
I mean, you just, as much as you want to grow, it's got to be in the right style.
That's right.
I mean, we did Restaurant Week. We've done two now, but last October, somebody from the restaurant, hey, we heard it's going to be great. And I'm like, but we're not your audience. I don't want you to give me a check, and I want you to always be next to me.
Right.
And so the reality check, but that comes down to a conversation. I mean, literally, everybody that's coming in, okay, let's have lunch. Matter of fact, the same mantra of business, it's like, trust, and then business. Don't skip those steps.
Oh,
Okay.
let me write that down. Say that again.
Ready?
Like,
Trust.
the-
And
like, trust.
I'm going to keep these. And I'm going to keep them. I'm going to keep these.
Yeah, we do Pictionary. We're like spot on, babe.
Yeah.
No, but that's the whole thing is if you're successful from the moment you start, always deliver with the end in mind.
Okay.
Because, I got, it took it over. Well, so-and-so dropped off. Okay, well, they're probably a smart person. Okay, people don't cavalierly write checks.
Right. Right.
You earn your trust, you earn everything.
Right.
So let's pause.
Okay.
What's a fit? What's not a fit? Where we get, what's our vision? What are we growing into? And who would be a natural fit? I mean, I really, in the sense of the paradigm of the chamber, is like, stop. I pretty much, this way it is silly. Let's do success. Let's go with verticals.
Yes.
So we collected the buildings in Tyson's. I mean, literally, beautiful. Like, we had the event on top of the Adair. There's 750 people in that building. Okay, we brought Fogo. We brought Capital One, Star Hill Brewery to the building. Okay, when you bring the businesses to where somebody are, they're like, where are you? Yeah, that's me over there.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
It's personal. Now we get ready. We like, that we trust, and we keep going.
Yes.
But again, that's the sense of the community that's gradually building because we have the success of Restaurant Week, Urban Plates had just opened up. They were sending out flyers to the community. I'm like, Tony, stop. I got the building. Give me a USB. We can put it digitally in their elevators.
Yes.
Man.
It was so successful. Corporate headquarters in California called them, what did you do? You went from 0 up to 70%. So the state of California mimicked us, what we did.
Wow.
Right. You get into the wow
Yeah.
compliments, you can share with your team because inherently that's why you did it. But, on a visceral reaction, you're like, I was about to swear.
Yeah, I
I saw it. God damn you. I'm going to explode after this meeting. It's going to be expletives all the way down the hallway. Blank, blank, blank. Just to make me feel better.
So, Andrew, are you originally from this area?
Originally, yeah. I grew up on the other side of the river in Potomac. Became a trader right after college because of the traffic. Started my company right in Arlington, which was beautiful. I love Virginia. And it's sort of traffic. I live in the city of Falls Church because, traffic.
Yeah.
Also the schools and the sense of the community and, yeah, but I love Virginia. And that's why, last July when they say, would you consider it? Yeah, I'd consider it. This is home.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm 2 miles down the road and I've gotten a lot out of this community. It's that moment you're like, yeah, it's time to flip the coin. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah. Yeah. So also, how did you get into your position as the leader in the
Chamber?
chamber?
I greased a lot of palms. No.
I was like, well, how do you do that?
I kind of
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, so
Ready?
no.
Put that on happy. No, it was just the sense of, asked by, the people who are currently on the board and blessed that, people saying yes. And sort of that was a starting point.
But you have the like, trust, and the business because you have that personality. And, just from the first time that I was in your presence, you have this like about yourself. And that's a good thing.
I do like myself.
Yeah.
You better like yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
That's where it starts.
But you,
I think we can draw that one.
he was just so really communicating and moving around. So that's a real good thing. I
And
see
a
you
big
like to
smile,
draw.
too.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. As we talked about before, the tribulations of going through life. I mean, I was dying through my 20s. I mean, kidney failure and everything else. So when you come out the other side of something like that, God, you got a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah.
Dude, I remember just days of paralyzed of pain.
Wow.
You go to the children's ward, you see kids aren't going to make it.
Yeah.
Okay? They're just things that are so humbling that when you go through that, you're just like, you know, for the grace of God, back here. I mean, all things that go wrong, I get 2 of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
Talking about getting a hall pass.
That's a heck of a hall pass.
Right. So with that, it's just like, yeah, I weighed 118 in college. I mean, I couldn't gain weight, but be like, oh, it's your diet, like this. You know, the best of intentions, but it didn't kick until, you know, literally you get a couple days to live. We better go in.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, it's just taking those lessons of life. And that's why going back to that and COVID of pause.
I'm hoping that a lot of people out there that watch the program, you pick and choose little things that we said that's going to help you understand how important it is to cherish certain things and be aware of what's going on around you.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, even though Mr. Clark is laughing and joking and stuff like this, but he's talking serious and he means what he says and what he's doing, you're making a difference. And so yeah, you saw it from the other end, and now you're taking it to a point where you're like, okay, I'm not going to take this for granted.
Yeah, I mean, and thank you for that, is, you know, I'm a full-time single dad. And when you just, I don't know, it's like the magic eraser of life when your kid smiles.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when they step up to another layer where they own things and they take pride in things and you see what you're sculpting personally,
Yes.
because life's a reflection. You know, it's interesting having somebody, you know, the human measuring stick, like, you know, I gotta, you know, clean my room better, all the things, because the eyes are upon me. You just can't give somebody you don't have.
That's right.
You know, you can pretend all you want, this fallacy world of unicorns, but at the end of the day, they're looking at you with hard eyes.
Yes, they are.
Right. Right.
And it's just like, okay,
yeah, that is something.
Yeah.
So just one son.
yes.
I'm gonna say, wait a minute.
Is this recorded? All right, let's go to commercial.
And so how old is he? He's in high school now?
He is. He's 15 and a half. He's exquisite, beautiful, amazing gentleman.
That's so cool.
It is. It really is. I mean, it just, I don't know. It's sort of the daily experience of, you know, life is a trite phrase, but I'm trying to think of encapsulating the word, because, you know, love, beauty, and all the different things. Because, I mean, you could have the hardest day, and you see that.
Yeah.
And it makes all the difference in the world.
If the dishes are done, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just put a little caveat in there, right?
You looking like, oh yeah, I was right on point, and now I come in and this is dish in the sink. Yo, you just blew it.
But you see so much of yourself in your kids,
You know
and
what?
it's weird.
It is. And you know what? So, you know, growing up, it was amazing, because I'd come home and my friends were at my house. My parents were their parents, and
Yeah.
when you see, you know, how I built the house, I structured the house, and seeing it come to life in that way, it's like, I'll be literally, my friends who are waiting for me are, you know, oh, we came early. Here's my son hosting.
Wow.
Right.
Isn't that something?
And they're like, when your friends go, oh, you're here. God! And that's the ultimate compliment. It really is.
Because your son handles it.
He
You know,
handles
this is a
it.
man that you raised.
It is. And all those things, you know, the pros and the cons, what you own. And, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's an amazing ride.
That's so
And
cool.
these days, to raise a halfway decent kid is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
But when you raise a kid that you are actually like, damn, I did that. Did I just swear?
Hell yeah!
Hey.
You rubbing over? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a Kimmie not moment. Yeah. All right, Pinocchio. Yeah, we're not going to go on that one. No, I, you know, yes and thank you. But I have to tell you, going back to the Tysons and the people next, it's a community.
Yeah.
I mean, you just, as a single dad, you're stretched to the nth. And, you know, the neighbor said, hey, Amy, you want to go for a walk? Hey, you guys want to come over to dine? You know, just lost on a holiday. Friends like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, you're not coming with us.
And it's something that Tyson has this reputation of community networking. I don't know if it's something I'm just hearing because I'm out here, but it's always seemed to come across that way. That is
How so on the network? How would you phrase that?
meaning that businesses would support other businesses, where when people were in this area, they found a way to survive.
They have, but I guess in the sense of what I see and what I like is the next level of beyond the business to business is the community to business.
Okay.
Because if it's a community, you're going to stay. It's not
Okay.
your work and you're going to leave. I rent and that was nice. I mean, you got people like the Mather. I mean, it's going to be one of the largest elder care communities that just broke ground. They have a stake now in Tyson's. But that stake is predicated on people living, breathing, and everything, dancing in Tyson's. Sort of the cultural experience.
Yeah.
And then you have, Capital One. I mean, what they laid for a foundation for a community. I mean, Capital One Hall is, the essence of the arts. Which, again, we had an amazing theater. First stage. Wow. I mean, perennially 21 Helen Hayes Awards. I mean, right. And these people aren't doing it for the dollar. They're doing it because their passion and their gift to what their trade craft is.
Yeah.
You walk away, and again, it's like being schooled in anything. You're like, damn. And you're just getting, they're here. So, I mean, First Stage is on my board. How can we support First Stage? What are we doing with them, But yeah, all the stakeholders here to create community. Because if it's business to business, businesses will leave.
Right.
Businesses will fold.
Right.
But a person who says, this is my home,
Right.
that's why, it's like when you go into Vienna. Wow, you go to the farmer's market, you go over there.
Yeah.
They're supporting that businesses because they know the owner. They
Right.
know the bartender. The bartender knows them.
Yeah.
And it
It's
comes,
like your neighborhood, though.
it's a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Going
Yes.
back old
Yes.
school.
Right.
If we can just keep everything in the mindset of caring for your neighbor, game over.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's in
Oh,
neighborhood.
man,
When I was
this
growing
is-
up, you saw somebody's kid doing something wrong. I'm going to tell your mother, get out of there. Let's go. And
It's-
you care about each other. Period. Everybody's family cares about everybody's family. We might not always get along, and we
Right.
might step over the property line, but I'm not going to see your
yes.
kid get hit by a car. I'm not going to see your kid, get hurt in any other way. I'm going to step in and say, hey, stop it, or I'm going to tell your mom. Right. You care about each other.
That's a core central value. And, once that's permeated into roots, then it's like, as you said, I see, I felt. I mean, I go to the local pub, it's outdoors, I can work, it's great, have a tea. It's not work. But then somebody stops by and says, hey, I saw Mason walk by the other day. And matter of fact, I saw him last week. And then they start giving me the commentary. He's with friends, he's happy.
Yes.
Yes.
But to your
Yeah.
point, it's a check-in.
Yeah.
Because if it had gone the other direction,
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
well, you need that.
Right.
Because if you're lost in this void of your space that's just you in that silo, that's a pretty shallow existence. Because nobody's got your back.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be in the sense of that, oh my God. It's just a little bit.
That's
Right. It's like I saw.
That's right.
Didn't hurt. Okay? And thank you.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is People to People with Rodney Grimes and Miss Kimmie Kimm, and we have Mr. Andrew Clark in the house with us. This gentleman is amazing, amazing man. I've sat here and believe it or not, I've learned a lot from you just from several things that you said. I take keywords and I take them and hold on to them. And that's what's going to help me for tomorrow as I try to be a voice for people and help them to move forward. So I appreciate, the information and everything.
Well, again, thank you, because you are the voice. And in the new medium and with your personality, the blending of everything today, I mean, I love how you orchestrate this. It's one of those things where we had no agenda.
Right.
How this is going to evolve, and that really comes to the composer. Somebody who can wave the wand and make it happen, and all the elements light up. And it's a sound you wanted but didn't know about. And then something like, we need a little more flute over here.
Yeah, there you go.
And then you strike the chord, and all of a sudden we're laughing again.
Yeah.
So again, this is thank you both, because I want to be Kimmie Kimm. I want that I can remember AC blows. Kimmie Kimm. Oh, sorry, I almost said it. Get that button ready. Get that button ready. God, it explode in the hallway. Shit.
Your son is gonna be something else.
Oh, that greatest sailor there, baby. Yeah, Bye-bye, I can get nothing on him.
So we going to be coming down to another about 6-7 minutes, but what I would like to do is to please ask you to make a promise to come back.
Oh my God!
And sit down with us. This is amazing. You are a character. But what I watch is this. I watched you when you get serious and when you take on, but you also make it enjoyable.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. You go through different phases of learning, and God, this goes back in, I don't know, mid-20s, and really invested in the thought of life.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody says, if you had to draft who you're going to be for the rest of your life, what would it be? And you're like, fuck. Good boy. Like, that looks even more phallic. It's contagious fun. If you can have fun enrolling people into being at another level, whether it's community service, business, with all in honesty. It's like somebody says, I'm going to start a restaurant. No. Okay, that's not you.
Right.
But again, that came through exquisite coaching. And thank God I was smart enough at a moment to be actually hear somebody. But I only heard them because other friends were hired that person and became rock stars. Mm-hmm. And it's like this virtuoso that was just playing the guitar yesterday and now he's Jimi Hendrix double.
Wow.
And you're like, the wow moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, literally, I've been Jim Goldstein. And from that, I remember sitting down with a restaurant. Literally, here I am over having pizza over in McLean across. And I said, Jim, what? I've done some homework and I'll take you on. And this is $250 an hour.
Gee.
Yeah, 30 years ago?
Yes.
You better believe I'm listening.
Okay, yeah.
But the first thing out of his mouth, he goes, it's all good, but let me tell you something. What? You're creepy. I'm like, what?
What in the world?
Really? Of all the things I didn't want to pay $250 for. And he goes, listen, you're fun, you're gregarious, you're all these things. You're just not that. I'm like, what? Let me mimic you. And he goes, hi, I'm Andrew Clark. I'd like to meet you. Shake your hand. Tell you what. He goes, shoot yourself. Ready?
Oh, my goodness.
That's not you. When you get to find who you are and be that in its truest form, life will happen.
Come on.
Wow.
Right.
Yes.
Can you imagine that was all the $250? I'm like,
Wow.
Yes.
here you go.
Yeah.
Because that goes back to defining who you are.
Yes.
And so that, you know what? I am fun. I am honest. I am smart. And all these things that I did sort of tarnish with being what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm this guy.
Right.
Fuck. What's up?
No, you.
I get that though. I really
Yes.
do.
Yeah,
but
but
with other people try to
Thank
make
you.
you, they'll see you do something maybe
Well, I
they
grew
thought
up-
is really good, and they'll say maybe you should do that. No.
I just grew up, you see that on TV and all the things
Yeah.
that had stayed businessman. And it's like, that was stifling me. From that, it was crazy. And all of a sudden the mind started racing. And all of a sudden, literally, the expression of breathing again.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'd like to work. I'd like to do all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So when you came to somebody and somebody said, hey, I'm like, are you crazy? Because you could deliver it in your own language.
Right.
Right.
Before it was, I don't see that opportunity.
Right.
Being, fuck, God, this is going to be a bad day. I didn't say the cleat word. I just go, ready? I need a little button here. But yeah, that's where it comes down to the imagination, but it only happens when you get rooted.
Mm-hmm.
People are just, I want to be, who are you? You get to the core of, you're shy. That's fine. because you enjoy that.
And the real you is better than the fake somebody else.
Oh man.
But how do you know when you're fake?
You know what? Maybe somebody do have to tell you. They
Well, I
have to-
wish I was
sometimes
that smart, right?
Right, but you paid $250 for it.
I paid dearly.
I would appreciate if somebody tell me for free, but that's what some people need. I mean, your hard-earned money for $250. Somebody told you. Cut it out.
Well, but again, this goes back to your podcast and how you're doing it. It's you. I mean, you are Kimmie Kimm. I mean, that's just, I love that. But it's your smile, it's your personality, it's all these things woven together. It's not a segmented Kimmie Kimm, it's the package of Kimmie Kimm. I was about to say it again.
But when you say my name, I kind of want you to say it. Say what you got to say.
Love it! Kimmie! Love this! Sorry. That was going to happen in the hallway either way. Gotta get it out. Gotta get it out. See? If I had been swearing, that wouldn't have happened. That wouldn't have happened. I had my button. This would have been safe. No, but serious, it's being congruent. With the lashes. Oh yeah, Houston. I had 2 minutes left to get them. Kimmified them.
You make my stomach hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this has been
My
amazing,
entire
amazing.
face hurt.
I tell you, we have Mr. Andrew Clark in the house with us. People to people, we love this, where we're going. We are so excited. It was just so many things that you said today that I'm going to take. And I personally, every time that we do a program, I grow as a person. And what I do is I take just little segments so that I don't be phony, that I can be real. And even as Kimm was talking to me, and she's gave me some insight on some things, it's just, that's what it's all about. And people have to know that when you pay attention to your community, you can make a difference. It's not before you wait for somebody else to do it.
No, I mean, yeah, get off the plane. Okay, you're space holder. Yeah, but you know, whatever that is, that is. But I have to tell you, they're not going to be part of what I'm doing and where I'm going.
Okay.
I mean, I look at, the vampires are trying to suck information or life out of me, and I'm like, what the hell happened? The zombies cannot be cured. Okay, they're just the way they are.
Right.
But you find the two of you and the rest of your crew, I mean, that has legs. Okay, that means, like, when's our next time? You're living into the future.
Yes.
It's not existing in the day.
Right.
And that is something where I'm like, everything in Tyson's working, like, let me tell you where we're going. It hasn't happened yet. It doesn't exist, but we're going to get there.
Right.
Like the buildings. I'm like, really? I can work? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just jump on.
Right. I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, I know the reason why right now, because we keep it real. We don't fabricate things. This was Miss Kimmie Kimm first day on the platform, so I got to beat her up a little bit. I am not going to eat up Mr. Clark and get everything out of him today, because we're going to have him come back.
Yes.
We promise. We got some real good schedules coming up. Actually, on the 18th, Dr. Bob,
Okay?
he's going to be here.
Sharp guy.
Yeah. I think on Wednesday we got Mo Hafiz, who's a wellness coach, and we got some other things that's going on. And Ehab, who works with me, he's in Dubai right now.
Nice.
And we're waiting to get a little contact with him, because we're going to be doing something from out of Dubai as well. But what we would like to do is to, again, thank you for gracing us with you're an amazing man. You really should be a comedian.
Yes, I was getting ready to say, he's just calling. I can tell you that. Can you give me 250 and I'll tell you what you should do.
You give me 250, I can tell you what's going to happen. You need to leave the room.
It is amazing. It's amazing.
All right, 200.
We're going to make sure that we pay Mr.
Well, oh, I'm over time. Yep.
Oh God, my
So,
stomach.
again, what I'll do, I'm going to see you. We're going to set it up for you coming. But actually, the next time, maybe you might want to bring one of the other committee members with you.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, we would love to do that. If I could I make a suggestion? It'd be Miss Vicky.
You wouldn't need me there. Let me tell you, that lady, stand alone.
You know what? No, seriously.
I can't wait to
again,
meet her.
Oh, I'm trying to tell you. She was just phenomenal.
She is, and it's interesting, what she brings to anything. And that's why I'm just blessed at literally what we've done, she's going to be a rock star wherever she is. So
Yeah.
just having her be able to share what she does with the team, with myself, is awesome.
And this, I'm just so excited when I saw what you were doing again, when y'all was giving out the awards. It was really, really gratifying to me to be able to experience that and to see that this is something going on in the community. And then y'all giving out this acknowledgement. And it's like saying, okay, job well done, let's do better. Let's do it together. And that's what I got out of that.
Nice.
So, I want to know how we're going to be able to fit in. What are we going to be able to do to contribute? We have a lot to bring to the table.
You do.
And we are excited. So, my phone number, I got you locked in my phone now. So, all you got to do, I'm just a phone call away. But I really appreciate
I'm 250 away. Well, last parting thoughts is on Wednesday here at Intelligent Office, we're having our launch party.
Cool.
Again, going to the Children's Agency for the website, Reggie Holmes, who did our branding, Vicky, who literally orchestrated all of it. So again, please, everybody in the room and everybody here, register online. And again, we're at IO 630. Really just to keep moving and reinventing. It's as we think who we are, we like to bring that to what Tyson is going to be.
And actually, we are also here tomorrow between 12 and 1 to talk about the podcast. And this is exciting because this is bringing me into new arenas. So, I'm excited to just be able to learn more and be able to be a part of this. I want to say a shout out to Intelligent Office.
Yes.
That's amazing. This is, since we've been here, they have just made us feel a part of the whole operation.
It really is crazy because when I love the feeling of movement, and when I think I'm on fire, you see somebody sprinting ahead of me and Brandon and the crew.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. I'm like, how about you join us? Cool. And again, every time I want to incorporate that into my lexicon of thought is join me.
Yes. Well, and you ain't got to ask me twice. I'm going to be right there because I'm excited. But I just love what I see, and it's really, really inspiring.
That's right.
So,
well, guys, thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.
We appreciate you so much.
Yay.
Come on, light it up, people. Woohoo! Bring it home! That's how we end here. We go big. Effing right. I'm going to go expletive right down the hallway. Can I get like an easy button? Just go, ding! Yeah, right. I need a button. This is just not,
you have to get that on that next board.
yeah, that's just not safe. Now I have a song.
Okay, go ahead and sing for us. Go ahead. Hey, we still on the air, right? Yeah. Oh, baby! Go ahead and sing for us. Go ahead and sing. Yes.
I'm sorry, was that funny? No, I have to tell you, our coat of arms has this, so I'm not going to torture your audience. But, oh my God, let's end with the song of thank you, because what a treat. I mean, how long we did this? About a half an hour, and it seemed like a minute?
No, actually it was an hour.
It was?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we started at 6:30.
Oh, wow. We were having fun.
Yeah, so that is why you're always going to have an audience. When time doesn't matter. I mean, you think of so many times, when will it end? And yet, all of a sudden, you're in a vortex of going, what?
Yeah.
No. Don't go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. again, I just want to say thank you both.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
All right.
Yay. Later, AC.
Good shot. Sexy. Really sexy. 350. Oh my God. Inflation 3.
My entire face hurts.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all had a taste of Mr. Andrew Clark.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's People to People with Rodney Grimes
my
and
God,
Kimm.
funny.
Thank you so much. Everybody that tuned in. That was Mr. Andrew Clark. He's an amazing man. He's on the committee here at Tyson Corner. And it was just, it was amazing. We get ready to switch seats over here. Kimm get ready to get on the other side because we want to talk about Kimm and what she's doing and
Face hurts.
Mr. Clark is amazing.
Oh, yes,
We
he is.
had a good time. I can't wait to bring him back. And only reason. Oh, yeah, me.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So I just want people to know that this is another area where we're growing, and I want to welcome Kimm onto the platform.
Thank you.
So we are so excited. I don't want to be getting here talking too much. I want you to talk. I want you to talk about why you decided to do this, what areas you want to bring to the table, because this is not about me, this is not about you, this is about us. And I know that you are us people, and I really, really admire you and your husband. That y'all have taken the time. We met before and talked about this. Y'all made a commitment. Your husband is an amazing man. He's another
right.
one.
He's all right.
He a little more than all right in my book. But I can't wait to sit down and have a dialogue with him as well, because I know he has something to come to the table. But talk about you, Kimm. Come on, tell me what's going on.
Well, I believe in the mission of PTP. I really do. I really do, because the moment I saw the first live that I saw, not the first one you did, but the first one that I saw, I was immediately attracted to it. I love the way your wife is always involved, how y'all do things together, and how y'all support the community as a whole, and not just where you live, but any community that you guys seem to be in. It looks like you always give it your best.
Yeah.
And I love that about both of you. I love how you carry yourselves. I love how you conduct business, how how you guys, the friendships that you have made over the years, how they've been long-standing friendships.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. And I don't know, I just would love to be a part of it. Hold on. This phone?
Yeah.
AC. I got AC's phone.
Hey. And his iPad too.
Oh my God, in my brain.
Now I can drop the name. Yeah, I saved his phone in his iPad. Yeah.
That'll be $250.
I love it.
10.
Wait a minute. What was I even saying?
He is amazing.
He is.
He should be on a comedian circuit.
He should.
Because he have you dying
He
laughing.
should.
Yeah, but he's amazing. But yeah, first of all, I want to again welcome you.
Thank you.
I thank you for accepting the opportunity to come and be a blessing to other people. People to people, that's what it's all about.
That's
Us
right.
blessing other people, making this an opportunity. Let me tell you what I believe. God has put this together. And I believe that somehow or another, this is going to be a real blessing for so many people, because you have a lot that you have experienced that you will be able to talk about from a woman's perspective. And so to be able to have that and to have it real and not like Andrew was saying, not being phony.
Right.
You know, what one of the things that me and my wife love about you and your husband relationship is that y'all so transparent. You know, y'all don't I mean I can tell that y'all have y'all areas where it may not be the what we call the perfect marriage, but you got that perfect love. And I didn't say that in a to
No, I get it.
You know what I
get it.
mean?
Let's be real
Yeah.
about it.
It did not say that, right, babe? Huh? No, I'm saying
You may not have the perfect
marriage, but they had the perfect love. That's what we
Yeah.
and that's me and my wife, and that's what we see in you and your husband. And that's one of the things that really intrigued us. I know him being the type of man he is. You know, a lot of times people look at us and they be like, I mean, my wife would tell me, "Yo, be quiet, get over there and sit down," and I do it. You know, and then people be like,
on my ride.
you know what? Hey, but like you say, you know, when we act right, yo, we get a treat, and everybody be like, yo, what? Yo, you don't understand, dude.
And it's not about disrespect.
Exactly.
It's just about knowing your partner.
Come on.
Knowing what their threshold of mouth is.
Right. Right.
Because I can tell you for a fact, I can, yeah. I've had to tame myself in a lot of, not me, God had to do it. Simple as that. That's the truth. Because had it been up to me, I'd still be doing this all the time, whenever I felt like it. But throughout this, we just celebrated 19 years on September 2nd.
Yeah, and happy anniversary to you. Yeah, yes. We went, we actually saw that, and congratulations.
Thank you. And it's been, 21-ish, maybe 22 years together. So, and that's the kind of stuff that I want to bring to PTP. I want to bring real.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be one of those people, like a lot of women that I've seen, like for instance on TikTok, the women are talking about, you need a man that does this and you need a man, and I have to put a pause on that because everybody's doing that. I want to come from a place where I am a woman who's been married. This is the fourth one, but I called it my final four. I want to be a woman who's coming from the perspective of a woman who's learned something and not blaming every relationship and all the problems that I had in the life, not blaming it on the men because it wasn't all their fault.
Right.
You know, I can honestly say that when women try to really understand a man, when we can show a man that we understand where he's coming from, because that's what we want. We want a man to see our side, our man, anyway,
Right.
When we can show men that we understand where they're coming from, they're more apt to listen to us. You know what I mean?
Right.
For instance, I started TikTok and I started, talking to women in a way that wasn't really being judgmental. I didn't want to attack women. I just wanted to show men that we understood them. So there would be a woman who would ask a question, and I would address that question on TikTok without saying her name, because it's not about making women look bad, because I'm a child of God first, a woman second. I'm women, girl power all day long. But at the same time, I have 3 grandsons now. And I've spent 19 years, a little over 19, learning this man the way I should have tried to learn a man before.
Right.
Not just about my needs. So it was about the needs of the couple. And if I'm going to do, address the needs of the couple, we need to address the needs of him and me. And I need to, show him, you know what? I do understand where you're coming from. And repeat it to him. This is why I think you feel the way you feel.
Right.
Let me know if I'm right or wrong.
Right.
If I can come from a woman that's been in a whole bunch of mess, and let this man know I understand where he's coming from, he's really going to want to listen to me. Because he's not going to hear blah, 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 blah every time I'm what you call B and moaning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. And a lot of women used to say, why are you always taking a man's side? It's not that I'm taking his side, baby. It's that I'm letting him know he has a side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm letting him know that what he feels is not stupid and it's not selfishness. It's just what he feels. And why can't I understand? If I'm begging this man, understand me, understand my PMS and my menopause and the fact that I've had kids and I have a little stretch mark and da-da-da. Why can't I understand that he was out in the world today? And I'm not saying that, you know, just saying he's a victim. I'm just saying he was out in the world today and this is what he dealt with and that's what he dealt with. And then he has to worry about his daughter dating again. And then he has to worry about this one's getting married and he's got to pay for a wedding. And then he's got to worry about taking care of the mortgage and keeping his wife happy. Those are issues too.
Yeah.
You know, and then he has to worry about, okay, he might be getting a little belly. He might not feel so good about himself today. We have to learn to sit back and chill. Not say our problems aren't important. They're important. But if we want him to see that they're important, why not come over to his side? It's like a performance evaluation when your boss is telling you, well, I love the way you do this and you do this and you built this and all of this stuff. However, these are some things that you can work on. You got to do a relationship like that too. You don't go to the man, you make me sick and da-da-da-da and you're doing this to me and da-da-da and you don't do this right and you don't. Why don't you start by telling him what he is doing right? So I appreciate the fact that let me just tell my man now. James, look at me. I appreciate the fact that you pay the mortgage every month. We've been in this house for how many years? Since 2005? And I have not paid one mortgage and I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Like, appreciate it. I might even give you some out of GP just because I came to that. But I appreciate it. You know what I mean? And I appreciate the fact that he makes sure that I have never had to cut the grass. Now, people might say, well, here, man, he's supposed to cut the grass. I see women cutting the grass all the time, and their husband don't pick up a shovel, don't pull a weed or anything. But that's not my thing, and he knows it, and he takes care of that. I appreciate the fact that he takes my car to get it washed every Saturday or whatever. Yeah, I can go to the car wash, but that ain't my thing. That's what he does, and that's something that I don't have to do. And he knows I don't like dust, you know, stuff like. So I think about those things that he is doing that helps this family. You know, getting all the paperwork together so the kids can go to college. I haven't done any of that. You know, he put 2 girls through college that he didn't make. You know what I mean? They were from my previous marriage. Those kind of things matter. And no, I'm not going to pat him on his back for life for that. He knows how much I appreciate that. But just to let your man know, these are the things that I see. I see this in you. I see the man you are. However, can I talk to you about something that's been bothering me? And what's he going to do? What's up? Because his chest is out now. He feels, he knows that he's appreciated. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying we got to treat them like babies. Right. But men need to know that we appreciate them. And not just, I appreciate you because you're so strong. No, tell him what he's doing. Yeah. Tell him what you appreciate.
This is so amazing that you said, and you're saying this, because a few days ago, I tried to do just that, even with my wife. I just wanted to tell her, you know, thank you. And what I've been trying to do to better myself and understand what she brings to the table. My wife's been going through a lot. My mother-in-law is really, really ill. And I've been watching my wife, man. And then I'm going to tell you something that really blew me. So my wife, one day, she got up and she was running. And she said, well, I got to go get my mother's food and I got to go get your food. Right? And she was doing both of them. But I saw her doing where she was trying to balance 2 things that was really important to her. Right? Now, me, for a moment, God forgive me, being selfish, I was in my feelings because I just felt like, man, I'm being invaded. And not because of my mother-in-law.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But it was just like, yo, man, I you know, this woman is amazing. And she has to kind of sort this out. But then when I thought about it, like you said, I had to go back and say, yo, I appreciate you. And I appreciate watching you take care of your mom. I thought that was such amazing. And I realized that, you know, she's a strong woman. Unselfish. Unselfish. I'm telling you. Nobody knows the sacrifice that she has been making.
And do you see what we just did? My husband's sitting there, your wife is sitting there. And both of us did the same thing, which shows that both people in the relationship need that. Both men and women. We're just
come on.
We need it.
Yes.
We just need it.
Yes.
And sometimes
Yes.
it's not about who's going to do it
Do it
first.
right.
If it's on your heart,
Heart,
do
do
it.
it.
If you
Come
think
on.
about it, even
Yes.
if you're pissed, do it. There have been times that James has gotten on my last nerve. Ugh. Not doing anything like foul, because
No, I
that
got
would
you.
go a whole different
Yeah.
way. But and then I thought, you know what? Was it really that daggone bad?
But Zena just did that to me the other day. She was like, I said, babe, do you like me? She said, dude, sometimes I can't stand you.
There you go.
She was like,
There you go.
And I'm sitting there, and she was like, sometimes I just can't stand you. But you know what? I just love you more and more each day. And I'm looking at her. You just said you can't stand me. But
I can feel that way. Women, that's how we're wired. It's like doing stuff. Like if he's watching the football game, he watching the game, and that's his focus. Women, we can be watching, I don't know, Judge Judy, be thinking about what's coming on Housewives, what we gonna wear to work tomorrow, if my daughter did her homework, if my grandsons are over there cutting up. We're doing all this at one time. Now James can come in the house and he can kick his shoes off. Now this used to be me. Shoes in the living room, and I've been home for a couple of hours, and I done picked everything up, and he left his shoes, and as soon as he come in, I'm like, hey, he's like, hey babe, how you doing? How's your day? I'm like, I'm okay. Can you get your shoes up? And I had to, after doing this for a few years now, this kind of stuff, I thought one day, he done worked all day long. Every bill was paid. He done checked in with the kids. He done made sure, all these things. The first thing he hears from your mouth is get the shoes off the floor. What is that? I don't care how irritated you are. Calm down. How was your day?
yeah.
The first time I said, how was your day? Now that might sound small, but when I've had 4 daughters, so when you're dealing with all these moving parts and and that, you miss that, and you can call yourself on it. The first time I said, hey babe, how's your day? All 3 of my daughters were at the house well, the 2 are grown, but Jamie was, she was 17. They all like, whew. I was like, y'all shut the hell up. Just turn around. Shut up. I said it. But I had to realize that they are females and they are looking at me. They've seen me divorce 3 people. They've seen me be strong and keep my house and my car and all of this stuff. And they've seen me go through all kind of turmoil and still end up in a healthy marriage. They're watching this too. It doesn't matter how small it may seem to me. This is big because the way I treat him is the way they are going to treat the men in their lives. And thank God that they have they have wonderful people in their lives. And I see the behaviors. I see the way they treat. And then I look and I'm like, and I don't pat myself on the back. But I was like, oh my God. I just have to thank God that because my behavior changed, it automatically just transferred to them. And it's all about the energy that I was feeding my own husband, their stepfather and father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They saw that. I can tell you this. One day, it was my oldest, she's 36. Nikki's 36 after 28. I just forget how old they are. But anyway, she's 35. I think 35. Okay. She told James, my husband, she told him, James, if a man doesn't treat me like you treat my mom, I don't want him. To me, that showed so much because his mother had told me, years before that, you know what, my son will take care of you. He will be good to you. I'm not saying he's going to be perfect, but he will be good. God rest her soul. She's gone now, but I will never forget that. Never. So when we did go through our storms, and then I heard his mother's voice, I heard my daughter's voice. And I said, you know what? Is this man that storm we went through? Is he just that? Or is he still the man that put your 2 kids through college that he didn't create? Is he still the man that took a newborn, God rest her soul, that took a newborn at 2 months and raised her, and that was the only father in her life, that she was this close, best friends? Is he still the man that did all this for his own, the one he did create, and treat all of them just like they were his blood? You know what I mean? Is he that one mistake, or is he still all of that?
Damn, you talking about James? You making me want to marry.
I swear.
Hey James, you want to marry me? I think.
But that's what I want. I want women to see that about the people that they are involved with, because I'm not advocating allowing a man to treat you like crap. That's not what I'm talking about. These men that are really trying to do
right.
their best. They're
Right.
not perfect, but they are trying. I'm not saying stay with the cheater. I'm not saying that because that's totally your choice. Because
Right.
I'm asleep with my man tonight. I'm not going to tell you to leave yours.
Right.
I'm just trying to say that none of us are perfect, and if we want men to understand us, it's about time we sat down and really thought about what they're saying to us. You know what I mean? Because every man is not talking BS. There are men out here who there are millions of good men out here.
Yeah.
And I hate women that say, oh, they're not a good men out here, or men that tell, ain't nobody gonna want you with these 3 kids. That's a lie from the pit of hell,
Correct,
because
yeah.
I'm a living proof, and I got friends that are married to good men who came into ready-made families.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not doing, so I'm not telling people not to stay with a cheater or somebody that's treating you bad. But when you got a man that is genuinely trying to try, because there are men who will, say for instance, they have an affair, and they will leave you with the house payments, the car payments, go be with the other woman, get the woman pregnant, all that stuff. But when you got a man that does something stupid, because it's dumb, and if you did it, it's dumb. I'm just
No.
But what I'm saying is, it could be a man that does the stupid thing and don't try to make up for it. You can't make up for it and you can't make it right. But you can say, you know what, I'm fighting for this. Because this is something I did. I'm going to own it. You didn't deserve it. It wasn't your fault. If you got a man that's willing to fight for that, don't let nobody make you feel bad for wanting to allow him to fight for that.
Right.
Because you could be fighting for a man that cheated and going to leave you and run and all of that stuff. But you got a man that's in there that's saying, you know what, I was wrong. And I'm going to do this to make it better. And I want to prove it to you. And he's doing that consistent, positive behavior, and he's staying away from anything that led him into doing what he did, and he's not calling what he did a mistake. He's calling it what it is. It's a choice.
Yeah.
Because a mistake is something you do that you don't know is wrong when you're doing it. Y'all remember that. Why not?
But you know, this is so funny. It's so funny, and this is another reason why I'm so glad that you're going to be a part of this program, and that is hearing it from a woman's perspective. Understanding that it's different. It's 2 different sides to this, but we're going down the same journey. But sometimes the way we communicate and the way we go about it is just a little different.
It is.
And one of the things that I have been blessed with, and that is that this is my 3rd time, but my first marriage. I don't say nothing negative about my first,
right? It's not about that.
my children's, my son's mom or my daughter's mom. You know what? Because at one time I loved them, right? But what I'm talking about is who I am right now,
right?
And what I'm doing right now, and it's so important. I'm listening to you, and that is something that women and men we have to know from both sides. How to come in and say, yo. I love you, you okay, and it's okay. And let other people outside of our relationships know that it can be successful.
Yep.
Because we are living it. We watch y'all. We're not laughing and joking and making this up. We watch you and your husband. And I see, when you be doing your TikTok and jumping in his lap, and then he holding you with one arm. I try to get my wife to jump in, and I fall down the steps. No. But all of that's so good. But ladies and gentlemen, hey, we are at the closing hour. I am so honored to have Kimm to become a part of this program.
And I
just thank God for you. James, I appreciate your support, bro. And I know that the pillow talk always plays a factor in there. So it's not just because you made a decision. That's something y'all do collectively.
Definitely.
So I want to tell you, my brother, I appreciate you too. And me and my wife, we talk about things, and I'm gonna tell you something. God got something big planned for people to people.
I believe
and
it.
I'm telling you, and just with sitting and talking with Andrew tonight,
Yeah.
man, he's an amazing man,
Yes, he
an
is.
amazing man, and I can't wait, to get Miss Vicky. Wait till you meet her.
Yeah.
She's on the committee with him.
Mm-hmm.
She has her spirit. She just made me feel, oh man, that I could do some things and be proud to do them and be a part of what she's doing. And so I can't wait for you to meet her as well. We're going to be working on things. Hey, Kimm, you got the last say. Talk to him and take us out of here.
Well, y'all, listen. If you're having any relationship issues, whether it be your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your husband, or whatever, take some time to self-reflect. Self-reflect. Once you do that internal self-examination, you don't really have to tell them what you think your problem is. Just go to the other person and tell them how much you appreciate them for who they are and what they bring to the table, what they bring to your life. I promise you, once you start spewing that positivity towards them and leaving that old negative stuff on the back burner, you can deal with it, but leave it on the back burner until you show them the love, okay? Show them the love first. The rest will work itself out.
That's people to people. Hey, we love ya.